space like astronauts, we actually, what you call it, what's it that? Well, you know, when we dismember ourselves.
Dematerialise.
We dematerialise. And so we dematerialise here, the miracle is in science fantasy, we rematerialise somewhere else. But having dematerialised, you can still see us travelling through time and space. You must have noticed that. Next question.
I think it's quite interesting. That was an excellent illustration of the difference between media, because obviously if you're doing Treasure Island on stage, you can't have a man being run down by charging horses on stage. That's quite tricky, isn't it? So you have to find another way to do it. Whereas on audio, when Barney directed this Treasure Island, he was able, with the great work of Howard Carter, who did the sound design, who is here somewhere today, was actually able to have Blind View run down by the horses on audio, and it sounds terrific. Yes, you simply can't do that in a theatre, so you have to come up with another strategy. Which
you can do something, because I remember when Black Dog came he brought the first message, didn't he, Black Dog? Yeah. And the guy, the captain, attacks him with his finger, and I also engineered a bit. So that when he chopped him, he screamed and fell on the floor, hiding his hand like that. And then he ran away, and his arm had obviously been chopped off. And he ran away screaming, of course, making him see he was a bit of a fancy pirate, really. Just because he had his arm chopped off, he was making a fuss. Anyway, but as he went, the captain actually threw the arm after him. And then of course, the actor playing it, realising the audience were enjoying that, crept back on and picked up the arm. But the mistake he made was, he picked it up, and he was obviously they had 3 arms.
I think it's a very interesting thing about Treasure Island, which I think in terms of the literature of the time is quite modern, is that the people who you traditionally think of in literature as being the weaker characters, the character who's got one leg, the character who is blind, or the little kid, are all the heroes. They're all the action ones. They do a lot. They've got immense power in the novel, I think, and the traditional ones are sort of bumbling around with a lot less sort of intelligence. And as you said before, the squire and the doctor are equally as avaricious to God as Treasure Hunt as the pirates. And in a sense, Long John is more honest about it. So in the change of medium and indeed the change of years, how did what did you bring that was new to your portrayal of
Well, I don't know, because of course I haven't listened to it, but I think what I tried to do was to bring the absolute joy to this fictional character, the absolute zest for life, that he was going to pursue this come what may. Nothing was going to stop him, nothing. At the same time, of course, there's a long history. Probably there's no one here old enough to remember Robert Newton. But Robert Newton put his foot on Long John Silver, till in the end, in every bar in all of America, would say, "I, chill out," doing all that. And he was very, very funny. And we followed on there, but we did try to get that kind of feverish lust for the gold, which is what we wanted at any price. That's what I tried to do. Yeah. However, I'm not really very convincing of that. I don't think that's another reason why I haven't heard it. I remember when I played Macbeth. If you've got hankies prepared to wipe their eyes, when I played Macbeth, it was very difficult, and I'd already been Doctor Who, I think. I can't remember quite. Anyway, the dagger, he sees the dagger just before he's going to do the murder. Is this a dagger that I see before me, the handle towards my hand? But I was trying to work out logically, if he was hallucinating, it wasn't the kind of just plain heroic or bit of horror. This dancing dagger, so the dagger was dancing about. Naturally, the audience couldn't see the dagger, and I was only pretending to see it, because there was no dagger there. And so I was trying to chase the dagger around the stage, and of course the more I chased it, the more they laughed. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the reviews of the play, as the play came out, and they said they had no idea, they were all actually in concert, they said we had no idea that Macbeth was such a nice fellow. Some people piled in, this didn't stop the audience, they piled into Macbeth for a laugh. And of course, once I knew they were laughing, I thought, oh, well, we might as well go. Because one of the problems I had after Doctor Who was, when I was in the theatre, at the Royal Shakespeare Company, in Educating Reach, I didn't have any successes. Educating Reach was a big hit. But I was in an Inspector Corps, a very serious kind of sermon, really. And the American fans who were at fever pitch, about 12 of them came for 2 weeks and bought 16 tickets each. They were coming to 16 performances. Well, and they were sitting in the front row like that. And so they'd come see me. They were Doctor Who fans. And they after about 3 performances, they knew when I was coming on and when I was going off. So they sat right through the play, that's fine. And the other actors would say, it's a good house. I'd say, yeah, that's fine. But about the 4th performance, these girls weren't there. They were all in a kind of lobby around there because they knew I wasn't on at the beginning. But they knew the cue for me, you know. Excuse me, sir, said the little maid, there's an inspector at the door. And they all raced on.